It's what I longed for, and now that I'm having them, I don't want to give them up. Every child teaches you something new. Hey, I'm back, and in today's video I am wanting to document what it's like to go back to work, and I have been super blessed to have 8 months at home with Finneas and Zoe, but I have 1 week left and I feel like time is slipping away and I have so many big choices and decisions that I need to make, and it's all just swirling around in my head, and I thought it would be really good to talk it out and to just share my experience, because I know that I'm not the only one who has to go back to work, and it really does suck. I had to go back to work when Amira was 4 months old, and I went back to work when Zoe was 6 months old, so to have 8 months off, it has been both a blessing but the hardest thing, because I still feel like Finn is so small and helpless and defenseless that I really still do just want to be his mum. But I have to come up with a plan and get him ready for nursery, me get ready for going back to work. So today I am taking Finn in for a bit of a play date so that he can get used to being in the nursery room and the staff members there. I know that they're going to look after him so well. They are so lovely at that centre, so I have no problems with it, but it's just, as a mum, you know what it's like when you're having to leave a bit of your heart with somebody else. So Finn woke up super early this morning. He woke up at 5, so he went down at 8 for his morning nap. I'm hoping he'll get up around 10. I'll give him a feed and then we'll head into nursery. And then today I'm wanting to pick up like his school bag and just, yeah, get myself a bit ready. I've printed out a couple of things that I'm going to take in, including a little poster for Finn's sign language. In our family, we are massive believers in teaching our kids to communicate, and we have always used baby sign language. I think it is based off both ASL and Auslan, so the American Sign and Australian Sign Language. We find it so helpful to get a bub to communicate, and with Finn being 8 months old, we are already starting him on basic signs. Now's the time to empower him to communicate how he's feeling. One of my biggest struggles about going back to work, and it being my 3rd time, and I'm going to try not to cry, but if my voice sounds shaky, it's just because there is a lot of emotion bubbling under the surface, is the whole breastfeeding situation. If you've been following my channel for a while, you'll know that I actually really struggle with the senses of touch and sound, and breastfeeding is a really difficult thing for me to do mentally, and depending on how the day is going, how many feeds he has, how long he feeds for, it can really drain me, and I have to use a lot of strategies to help ground me after a feed and to keep going. But in saying all of this, I know the benefits of giving bub breast milk, and I also really love the bond that it creates between me and Finn, and for the first time ever, I don't know if I'm ready to give it up. But in the last week, he is just becoming so fussy, and it could be the fact that he's teething, maybe he's sensing the fact that I'm going back to work. I feel like maybe now is a good time to bottle feed, and I don't know. I don't know what to do, and I feel so lost about it, and I don't really have anyone to talk to about it because I just don't have any friends who go back to work in my circle of life that are breastfeeding. So when I did go back to work with Zoe, I tried expressing, and it was so hard because as a school teacher, you get 2 breaks, and I would spend 1 break pumping, and then the next break I would do a duty out in the yard. And so I wasn't getting any time off. The fridge that was in our office was so temperamental, and I would put my express milk in it and the fridge would turn off, and I was scared that my milk would go sour, and it was just way too stressful. And this entire breastfeeding journey, I am so proud to say that I have never had to pump. I've just been catching letdowns, and that's how I've had my frozen milk storage, which has been such a blessing because pumping is just a whole new level of tactile experience that doesn't work for my brain. I'm only skipping 1 feed in a day, and I'm hoping that that's going to be sustainable for my milk. But if this is too complicated for me and taxing on me and juggling being a mum and working full-time, then I'm probably gonna have to give it up, and it's fine because my goal was 8 months and Finn is 8 months in 2 days. Hey baby, what's wrong? Hey. Oh. One thing that going back to work really does put into perspective is even on these challenging days, I just love him so much. Hey. I didn't realize how much I would get affected by having a miscarriage, because I remember when I lost Alex, our bub, I just wanted to have all of these moments that I'm having with Finn. I'm just super protective of them because it's what I longed for, and now that I'm having them, I don't want to give them up. Hey. So I'm gonna get him ready, and then we're gonna head into kindy and do maybe just a little bit of time because he only had a 40-minute sleep. Can't tell though. Can't tell. Hey. Abu.
Don't be a stranger in the night. Take a chance for some romance. Don't cover your eyes. Willow trees know you better than anyone.
I find it interesting that my parenting style has evolved with every child, and I think every child teaches you something new. And I would have never gone out of routine at all with the girls. And even now, I still feel anxious about taking Finn out because he has been awake for an hour 20, but I can't help the sleeps that he's having, and I'm not going to get depressed in trying to help him. And I have to get used to the fact that when he does go to nursery full-time in a week, that he's not going to get the same sleeps. And so I need to work with his moodiness. He needs to be a little bit more resilient and yeah, get acclimatized to this new lifestyle.
Sweetest red sheets I'd ever seen. You stand beside me in every dream. Angel goddess, you cover them all. Say, what can I do to get you to fall for someone like me? I'd say I'm settled and a pretty cold. Don't storm in the storm.
Finn had a really good time in nursery, so much so that we are leaving a little bit later. So little man is quite tired, but I did give him a feed while we were there, and he got to play with both the educators. He was smiling and giggling, interacting, which is so lovely. So we are going to go on our date with Mick and then play it by ear, but this is life with 3 kids and trying to put in some marriage time. It's a lot of balls juggling, so I'm hoping that Finn will have a sleep now in the car, so even if it's just 40 minutes.
That he deserves you. Go with someone like me. I'd say I'm settled and a pretty calm. I don't storm in the storm, no. Not me, then someone like me that knows what to do and how to take care of you. But most of all, that is.
Thank you for calling the Australian Breastfeeding Association's National Breastfeeding Helpline.
I discovered the hotline to call ABA when I was returning back to work with Zoe, because Zoe, her feed's drastically shortened and I was concerned about my milk. So I'm calling today because I'm trying to figure out what my plan is moving forward with Finn and going back to work, and yeah, just getting some guidance.
Your call has been placed in a queue for the next available breastfeeding counsellor. Please hold. You are currently caller number 2, waiting to speak with a representative. Thank you for your patience. Is now first in line and will be answered by the next available representative. Thank you for your patience. Can I help you?
I'm calling because I'm having to go back to work in 2 weeks. And I am exclusively breastfeeding my son at the moment, but I'm just wondering, I guess the weaning process potentially. I'm hoping that I will be able to continue feeding him because I'm only going to be missing 1 feed. But at the same time, I guess eventually he will probably wean himself. So I'm just, wanting to get some information, I guess. Excellent. Cool. Thank you so much for your time today.
No problem. I suggest you can have a look at our website,
Yeah.
the Breastfeeding Association website. We've got some good articles on there about all aspects of going back to work.
Yeah.
And managing the supply, or even just with childcare and feeding. Yeah. So if you're interested, you can have a look at a whole section on breastfeeding and work and returning to work.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much.
No problem. Yeah, have a good day. And you can also call back at any time if
Excellent.
you have any other questions.
Cool. Thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend.
No problem. Yes, you too.
Bye.
Bye.
After that phone call conversation, I definitely feel confident in the fact that if I want to continue feeding Finn, I should be able to because he is 8 months old, and that skipping the 1 feed and supplementing it for formula is perfectly fine. It probably just means that he'll have a bigger feed at 3 o'clock. At the moment, it's pretty much a snack feed. So yeah, he might have a big feed then, which is fine. I probably will enjoy the cuddles at the end of a work day. Other than that, she was really informative about just how my body would react when I do drop the feed, that it could potentially take a week, and that in the process, if I am actually weaning him onto formula, to do it slowly and to keep dropping a feed and just waiting for my body to adjust and wait for Finn to adjust. But this is the first time that I am wanting to extend my breastfeeding journey, which is really strange for me. But I think it will be good. It'll be fine because he's eating food. She did say that he might get more cluster feedy because he has missed me, so that's fine. But yeah, it's still uncertain, but at the same time, I still feel confident. And I also feel confident in the fact that even though he is feeding for a less amount of time, it doesn't mean that my milk supply is going. It just means that he's more efficient at feeding. I am feeling a lot better now than I was at the start of the day. I was really emotional because I felt like I didn't know what I was doing and I didn't have control over what was happening. But I feel like after going in this morning and seeing Finn reacting to the kids and to the carers and calling up ABA and getting some information about returning to work and breastfeeding and potentially weaning him, I feel like I'm in better stead, which is really nice. Unfortunately, I didn't get to cross off the list Finn's bag for today. It was just more of a juggle than what I thought today was going to be, especially with Finn not doing the bigger sleep that I thought he was going to do at the start of the day. However, I still have a week to get his school bag and get it all ready for nursery. I will upload the next video about what we are packing in Finn's nursery bag. The childcare centre has given us a list and I think it's really good. So I'll be sharing that because even though I don't have anyone in my circle of friends who are sending their babies off to nursery, I'm sure there are people out there in the world who are having to return to work and having to face the same fears and anxiety that I currently am, and that's the reason why I'm wanting to share it, is because I want to connect with you and I just want to help other people not feel as alone as I'm feeling. So thank you so much for coming along on today's journey. It's been so good to have your company and to chat about things as they have been happening, because this parenting gig, it doesn't come with a rule book, we only have each other, and I'll see you in my nursery bag video next time. Bye!